Hello everyone, it's Megan from Mad Creations. I am in the kitchen today and we're going to be making the French custard muffins from our new cookbook, Simply Delicious. So I still can't create events, so surprise, here I am. So if you can catch us today, that'll be awesome. Otherwise you can watch the playback. I will be doing a few shortcuts in this recipe to hide the recipe from you, but for those of you who have the book already and haven't made this, you'll be able to see how simple and easy it is. I am going to get straight into the recipe and I will show you a couple of different ways to flavour it and we'll talk a little bit more about it. And then I'm just going to click on my computer here and just see that I can get the conversation up. Hopefully I can see you, because I'm not seeing anything yet. There we go. If I click on that, that should open it up. Now I can see any comments that anybody makes, hopefully. So if somebody can leave me a comment, I'll be able to see. Okay, so yes, we're going to be making the French custard muffins. In the book, they're a vanilla custard with strawberries. A lemon custard with strawberries. Today we're doing it with a vanilla custard, and I've got a few little things to try and show you just how easy it is to make them however you want when you put them in the pan even. So I'm going to get straight into it. The first thing you need with this recipe is a custard. So I am using the whole egg custard from the book, and I'm already grabbing a spoon when I've got like a spatula over here. Now, for anyone making this that isn't low carb, you can use any kind of custard from the supermarket, or you can make your favourite custard that you like, and that as well too. Mine got made yesterday and is thick, as you can see. So for ease today, I'm just going to pop it in my Thermomix and I'm going to just mix everything up in this. But otherwise you could do this with a hand mixer or a stand mixer. Okay, so it's just that simple. So yeah, this custard is like a whole egg one, which is very, very simple to make, only a handful of ingredients, and they're ones that you'll have at home. No xanthan gum as well. So I'm just going to give that a quick whiz. This is not in the recipe to do it this way, but mine has been refrigerated. You can just mix it otherwise. I just wanted to make sure this all just comes out smoothly. That should be right. Okay, then into that goes my dry mix. This is that simple. So there is only 4 ingredients, one of them being the custard and 3 other ingredients and an optional ingredient in the recipe. So I might just give that another quick whiz. So yeah, they're pretty easy to make. You can also swap the custard for ice cream if you want. That should have blended it. I just wanted to make sure there was no lumps in it, that's all. So we had nice, smooth muffins come out. Now, I'm just going to grab my spatula because now I have custard everywhere. And we're just going to add in our dry ingredients. Now, the fun bit of today is that I am actually going to... I did this for the picture that you can actually see in the book. I use my USA Crown top muffin tin. You can find them online. They're a great pan. I'll show you shortly. But yeah, I don't use any liners and I don't use any spray. So we're going to have our fingers crossed that they're going to pop out while we're live on Facebook today. So I'm just adding in my dry ingredients there. Just that simple. The sweetener is optional because the custard is sweet, but I know I kind of like about that. So 2 to 4 tablespoons, whatever you like. One of the ingredients is the baking powder, and as you should know, I always recommend Bob's Red Mill. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. It's just one of my favorite baking ingredients for low carb keto recipes. It just works. I even had to go out and buy some today, and I nearly had to test another brand live, but thankfully there was still one in the store. So now I'm just going to mix that. So for the recipe in our books, we have all conventional methods. So this one, we've preheated our oven to 160 degrees. That's fan forced. I've included in every recipe the 160 fan, 180 static and 350 Fahrenheit. If you're concerned about the 350 Fahrenheit versus the fan, it's the conversion from the static oven, so one that does not have a fan assist. And then we've also got the thermal method, which again has the preheating, and then it's just, for this recipe, it would be all ingredients except berries, which, like I said, in the recipe, you'll see in my pictures, there is beautiful strawberry muffins on Facebook at the moment, and they would just get sliced and popped in later, but otherwise we just pop it all in, and we're just going to do that for 15 seconds, speed 3. So if you're doing this with a hand mixer, it's just until it's just combined. You don't want to overbeat. We want them to be nice and light. So that's just going to give it a quick stir. And then we're going to put them in our pan. And then, I'm going to reserve some of it, sorry. We're going to put some in the pan and reserve some just to mix some flavour through. Now I'm just going to quickly check and see. Yes, okay, so I can see that you can hear me. And I know I've got my microphone on, so I've got my microphone on. Hang on, I just got a big chunk of sweetener. I'm going to take that out. So what I'm just going to do is, you can see that this batter is nice and thick now. And I'm just giving it a quick stir through because there was some lumpy sweetener. Sorry, this is a different dummy than I usually use, and it keeps beeping where I have my other ones set to just 2 or 3 seconds. Okay, so that is all nice and smooth now. If we see a little bit of sweetener in it, that's just because I don't care. But if you have any at home, like if you had lumpy sweetener like I did just then, just give it a little bit of extra whiz, or whiz up the sweetener before you pop it in, okay? You could see that I was putting in chunky sweetener. Normally I would just crush that with the back of the tablespoon before I pop it into anything anyway. Okay, so like I said, we're going to flavour them a bit differently. So in the book, it's just some sliced strawberries. But other ways to flavour them, if you've ever made muffins at home, do you, like I used to do this because I actually used to make muffins every single day in a cafe. I fill up my muffin tray and then I put in all different ones. So if I wanted to make banana nut chopped chip, lemon coconut, orange poppy seed, strawberry and cream, chocolate chunk, coffee, you know, orange and coconut, you know, all different ones. I could actually do the entire tray, all different flavours if it was just for me, and I could freeze each one, so it's a really good way to meal plan. If you're making for the family, you can get everybody to make their own, and all you do is, like when you slice the strawberries, etc., you'll see me shortly, just pop them in. I just push them in. That's all I do. But what we'll do is, like I said, I said a banana nut chopped chip. These little Frisch brand freeze-dried fruits are at the supermarket. Now, one of the recipes that we have in the book is a mango chutney, and it uses like this tiniest, even negligible carb amount of freeze-dried mango, where you just use a microplane and you grate a little bit in till you can actually like taste it. So that's what I'm going to do today. So you could use still the, what are they called? Vital Zing? I think that's what they're called. The milk drops or the flavoured extracts or anything like that to flavour any of these as well. But a little bit of this, just finely grated in, is a nice way to do it as well too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scoop some into, let's get another spoon so I don't get it all over me. I got one out before, didn't I? Oops, sorry. I'm just going to scoop them into, I'll show you. So this is what's called a crown top muffin tin. You can use any muffin tin. If they're bigger ones, you'll get less, but that's not an issue, is it? The carb count in these ones is 3 grams net carbs, okay? And that's just mainly the almond meal. So this one actually has like a little hole in there, and then it has like the wider top, so you can get that really nice little crown. The more you fill, the bigger it will puff out, and that of course. So I'm just going to pop most of the mixture in, so we can just pop some berries or some chocolate chunks or something like that in them. But then I'll show you how I just flavour some up with the freeze-dried fruit. And like I said, you could put any extracts in them. So like, you know, as we know at the supermarket, there's lots of different ones. Come Christmas time, you always get Queens bring out ones like gingerbread or whatever. So that would be a nice way to do this. You can also flavour the custard. So when you're making the custard, I've actually given you a recipe for a chocolate custard and a lemon custard. But it's really like the options are limitless. I think I probably even wrote that in there somewhere as well. And this can be made dairy free as well. So we've got some options in there for you as well to do it that way. You'll also notice that there was no eggs going into this mixture because the egg is in the custard. Okay, I think I'm going overboard here because we want to have a little bit left over to mix some of the banana stuff in it. So I might just scoot you out, pop you in there. So basically what I do is I do about 3/4 fill into my muffin tray. I can already see I'm going over on these. How many muffin cupcake bakers do we have who are probably cringing at my method here? But if you have, and I'd love to know anyone that's tried these already because they are really good. Okay, I'm just going to pop that one out. Most of it anyway. Hopefully me pulling things in and out won't inhibit them coming out. Okay, so rather than grate both, I'm just going to do some banana one. So when you get the slices, they're kind of like this. And for me, with this amount, I'll probably only do half of that. I once did some mango cheesecake ones with the tiniest little bit of mango. And because I hadn't eaten any mango or mango flavoured anything in years, it was so sweet. I just couldn't honestly eat them. They were like little cheesecake balls that you can make. And yeah, I took some pretty pictures of them. And I never posted the recipe because it was just like, well, I didn't really like it because it was too mango-y. Even though you can obviously make that with less mixture. Okay, so I just am manually, obviously, mixing that through. So let's pop this all in. Now they only take 15 to 20 minutes in the oven to cook too at this size. If you're going to make them bigger or you're going to make it into a cake, because you could do that as a cake as well, or cake bars, or cakesicles. So, you know, you use your popsicle mould and make cakes on sticks. That was a full one. But you can see this kind of makes a pretty cool, even 12, maybe not so even with me just mucking around, but anyway, muffins from the mixture. And that was a whole batch of the custard minus a couple of teaspoons of somebody tasting it. That wouldn't be me. But like I said, you could flavour the custard with anything too. So if you wanted to make a banana custard, you could add your extract or freeze-dried one. And then what you'd do is you'd taste the custard after it's cooked. And if you need more flavouring in anything, you can add it then. Like, that's what I do. It's like, I'll make a chocolate custard, say for instance, and then I try it. And if it doesn't taste chocolatey enough, I'll add like some unsweetened cacao or something like that to it. And this is how I actually create recipes all the time is, you know, as I'm making things, I'm like tasting it. And, you know, I actually had a question the other day regarding our new premixes, and it was like, what do you think of it? And I said, well, I actually haven't tried it, you know, cooked already, but I had tried the mixture, and it's like, you know, I judge everything on how the flavours taste in the mixture and that as well before it's even cooked. Okay. So I have roughly got my muffin tray filled with mixture. Very roughly. So today I will do some with the strawberries. So I'll just show you, like I said, how I would do it. Okay, that one, I might just get some blueberries too. I've got some here. So when I did this professionally for 7 years as well, not just make muffins, but it was one of the things we baked every single day in the restaurant, is I just pop whatever. So this is a great way too of counting your carbs as far as I'm concerned. So like if you know half a strawberry is one net carb and you only want one net carb of fruit in your muffin, is you can actually divide and cut your half into whatever sizes and then add it to the muffin individually. So here we go, we've got our strawberry ones. And then I've got a couple of blueberry ones. So again, with the blueberries, what I do is I'll put them on, but then I might push 2 in and just 2 slightly in, so that one is in the mixture. I try and push it. When I'm not using a cupcake liner, I do try and push it into the center, because when the fruit goes on the side, it can tear a little bit when it comes out. So I'll remember that when I'm taking some out in front of you when they're cooked in 20 minutes. And make sure that I don't pull out the ones with the fruit in it. Well, we'll do those ones last, so hopefully I'll get some out. That will look normal. So again, chocolate. I've just got some sugar-free chocolate here. You can just sprinkle some on the top. I might decide to put some with berries as well. So strawberry, white chocolate. That sounds good. And I've got some coconut rough keto chocolate here. And I'll put that in some. And I might do like a white chocolate, milk chocolate one. Meh. Let's put them anywhere now. Waste not, want not. Let's wash my hands. Can go into there. So I'll have a quick look at the questions in a minute, because these are going to go into the oven. So like, it's pretty simple, hey. So like I say, if you make the custard the day ahead, or if you wanted to make a half batch, you can make a half batch of the dry mix. You can make the dry mix of this into Ziploc bags and actually have it pre-made. I'm sure this would also work if you wanted to use it in like a pie maker or something like that as well. I might just pop some of these fruit into a couple of these chocolatey ones, because we kind of went overboard with chocolatey ones. Okay. Done. Oh, hang on. I'll just push some of that chocolate into my mixture. It tends to fall a little bit anyway, and of course the muffin mix will rise around it a little bit. But I always done it this way. It's a great way to, you know, keep not only your macros in check, but also the cost of the muffin as well. So you can see, like, basically in this mixture, I have used probably roughly around about 70 grams of chocolate, only 3 strawberries and 8 blueberries in 1 dozen muffins, plus my batch of custard and my 3 ingredients of dry mixture. So it's going into a 160-degree oven. I'll put that in straight. And we'll put that on for 15 minutes and see how we go. Okay, now I'll just clean that up and I'll have a look at your questions. So yeah, I just thought I'd jump on and, you know, give you a little bit more information about the book and show you something from it. That was quick and easy, because the whole idea of this book was to be quick and easy. So I hope everybody that's already got it has been finding it that. Let me have a quick look at what we've got. So everyone's saying hi, 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 hi. I'm going to make chocolate custard with the grandkids for dessert tonight. So even with the custard, like, you could double batch that, Linda, or if you've got half the custard left over, you could do half a batch of muffins the next day. I think there's, you know, a lot of easy ways to actually use that mixture, and I think it's a great idea to actually mix up the mix, like the dry mix, divide it, and you could even like say, okay, well, each batch is 6 muffins worth. And of course, if you want to do littler ones, they'll take less time in the oven as well, or bigger ones. They might take slightly more, but not that much more time. And yeah, you could actually have it always ready. And then if you've got any custard or ice cream, you just use the ice cream the same, like you just defrost it a little bit and use the same quantity. So yeah, it's quite simple. Did you say the freeze-dried fruit is available in the supermarket? Yes, Christine. So As I said, this is the brand. It's available in both Coles and Woolies. As for the independent grocers, I'm not too sure, probably. You find it where all the nuts and dried fruits and that are. For mine in my Woolies, it's up on the very top shelf. It's above where there is like dried ginger, crystallized ginger, the little walnuts and sultanas and stuff like that. So for this one, it does say like, per 100 grams, it's going to be like 80 grams of carbs, but this is a 15 gram serve. You just saw I used half a banana. So this is 15 grams. Where's a glass? I'll show you. I guess it's the best way of seeing what kind of carbs you're going to get out of it. Have we got a glass? It's just not. Sorry, I didn't have one that's like completely clear. So if I put all that in there, you can see like there is way more than 15. So I used like less than half a gram of one of those. But we know like a whole banana is 20 grams, right? So like we're looking at roughly around 20 grams of net carbs. We're looking around about half of a slice that I just used in it. If I was going to do this in the whole mixture, I might use 2 slices or something like that. But again, if you want to have an even lower carb alternative, you can use extracts. You could use the milk drops, like I said, from Vital Zing. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. I've even got some in the pantry. But yeah, like it's a nice way to add a little bit of a banana flavour. You can do it with the strawberries as well, or there is a mango. And the strawberry one, yeah, they all just say the same carbs. I don't know how accurate that is because we know that strawberries are lower in carb than banana, and they're exactly the same for 100 grams. So, but always remembering, like I said, that when you get a slice of anything that's freeze-dried or dried, that is like a whole slice. So it would probably be a thicker slice than it looks as well because they shrink down a little bit. But yeah, nice way to add flavour. Okay, so no questions. How's everyone? Have you bought the book? Have you tried any of the recipes yet? What's everybody loving about what they're finding? If you are joining us today and you know nothing about the book, so we have it in pre-sales. It kind of looks like this. That's just a piece of paper on one of my other books. You're looking at 115 recipes that are all low-carb keto. The highest net carbs, I believe, in any of the recipes is 8 grams of net carbs per serve. And it has variations on even lowering that even more if you wish. But yeah, we've covered off a lot of light meals and main meals as the majority of the book. There is a small section on sweets and basics, but essentially it is mainly meals. So the light meal kind of ideas, I'm just having a quick look. I've got my index printed here. So you're looking at things like sandwich crackers, which are already proving to be quite popular. I was going to make some today, but I have had a great day today, starting to clean the house. This last book, while 12 months in development, has been 6 months of pretty much full-on 7 days a week work for recipe development, cooking, testing, photographing, all that sort of thing. We've had a lot of personal things going on during that time and that as well with family members and stuff like that. So my mum is still in hospital, for those of you who don't know. So that's been going for the last month. So yeah, my time has been used up in a lot of different ways. So cleaning the house today was pretty high on my list of priorities. So I didn't get around to making my sandwich crackers, so hopefully tomorrow afternoon I'll get there. But other things that are in there is like some great simple ideas for spring and summery desserts, like our baked oats. So it's like a Milo milkshake baked oats. So we've done a low carb keto version of Milo. One of the ingredients in it is powdered coconut milk powder or coconut milk powder. And I saw somebody asking the other day about it. It's in the supermarkets. It's in Coles and Woolies. You'll just find it in with the Asian foods. It's just a blue box and it has a couple of sachets of coconut milk powder in it, like powdered. So a great product. It's quite sweet because it's that coconut flavour. Well, it's from coconut. So it tastes naturally sweet and is great in the Milo. But yeah, we've got that sort of thing. We've got a rhubarb fool, which is nice and simple. Buttermilk pancakes that are really fluffy and light and simple. And I haven't seen anyone yet make the diplomat cream. You've got to make it. So think like a really rich, thick custard that is folded through a whipped cream. So then you're getting, it's not like a Yogo, say for instance, but it's thicker and lighter than a Yogo consistency. It will hold its shape more than that, but is perfect with the pancakes. And in there we've got things like the savoury fritters, which I can see have been really, really popular so far. Salads like lemon zucchini salad, the cucumber salad, a strawberry tabbouleh, which is just delicious. And strawberries coming down in prices at the moment. And ours in the garden are starting to go red, so it's really great. We've got things like sesame ginger slaw. So we've got recipes that are also versatile, so they can be served cold or they can also be added to a stir fry. And in it we've also got some notes. So a good example of some notes, I've got the book here, so let's have a quick look. It's hard for me to read because I'm that far away from it. A pork and braised celery stir fry, right? So this is like a super tender, easy, quick pork dinner. It even will take you less than 10 minutes to make from beginning to end. But things like in the notes that I put for you, for those of you who have never looked at one of my books, I do try and put in as much as I can onto every page. That's why we have such like big books, A4 books, because I need to have all the room that I can fit 2 cooking methods and the notes. But this is the notes on that particular recipe. So a simple dish that lends itself to a lot of swaps. Use any cut of pork you like. Even lean cuts will work. So don't like pork, use beef, fish, chicken, tofu, Chinese eggplant, or a big bunch of Asian greens. Use gluten-free Vegemite or soy sauce. So I use Vegemite a lot in Asian sort of style sauces because it has that umami, that sweet and salty and rich body to the paste itself. But you can swap it for a gluten-free soy sauce or a tamari or a coconut aminos. We have those details in the back of the book as well. We have an essentials in every one of our books that actually have the smart swaps for all the ingredients as well. As I've written here, Vegemite is amazing in an Asian style sauce. It adds a perfect level of umami. I learned to use Vegemite a lot in Asian dishes from my dad in my younger years. He was one of the most innovative cooks long before cooking shows and the internet. You can use ordinary celery or Chinese celery. So you know that the Chinese celery has like full of leaves. If using the Chinese celery, add the leaves just before serving. The one thing I love about anything that has a vegetable in it is the vegetable never gets overcooked. If it's like, it's funny, we went out yesterday and I had kaki beans on my plate. I haven't seen kaki beans in a long time. Do you know what I mean? Like when they're cooked to like they're completely dead. So yeah, I just put that in just before serving and it just wilts the leaf. Then add a delicious fresh texture and flavour to the stir fry. The baking soda, so bicarb, I've used that to tenderise the meat for stir frying. If you have none, here's some other options. A little kiwi fruit, vinegar, wine or citrus juice will do the same. Did you know all of those will tenderise meat? We actually grow babico here, which is like it's a variation of a mountain pawpaw. It's seedless yellow fruit. It's really high in papain, so it's actually a great tenderizer. So if you've got babico growing, you can use that as well. And you can just discard the fruit. So you're actually not adding the carbs. It's just actually helping to tenderize the meat. And you only need to do it for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes before cooking. I have not included a thermal method for this recipe. So in this entire book, there is only 3 recipes that I have not added a thermal method for. And this is one of them. But I have written you can use a high heat stir fry function if your model has one and follow the manufacturer's recommendations for cooking. So for those of you who have a thermi and you want to use the sizzle function, you can do that and you cook the meat in the batches according to the weights the thermal one stipulates. And if you've got the Magimix, which I don't know if you can see is in the screen here, that has a stir fry function as well too. You can do that on that one. It has a nice wide base. It should work out fine. But for me, I like to only put in the recipes that I really recommend doing it that way. And this is like such a fast recipe. I think it's, you know, for less than 10 minutes from beginning to end in a wok or in a pan, it's just not worth putting in a thermi unless, of course, you don't have a hot plate, okay? So that's why I said, like, you can use those functions. And then this is just a simple, quick dish in a pan. It's my preferred cooking method. So there you go. So I write kind of how I talk. And I hope that translates for everybody because I try and put in as much information to help you have an easy time in cooking anything, and that the recipes turn out just the same way. So that where somebody I'd seen had said that their chicken had shredded, cooking it in the thermi, I said, like, did you cut it into the 3 strips? So like, If you got a chicken thigh fillet, I just cut it into thirds and use that in there, because they always tend, like especially thigh fillets, always tends to break apart in any cooking, whether you're slow cooking in a pan, in a Dutch oven, in a thermi, crock pot, whatever. The larger the piece that you put in, the larger the pieces will be in the end result. But yeah, so I try and put in those kind of tips for you and just keep it very simple. We've shortened a lot of the bullet points in the recipes. I can't really see it though. But our recipes here have like icon systems that actually help you so that you can actually look and go, okay, so this one is dairy-free, egg-free, nut-free, sugar-free, vegetarian, can be made ahead, can be made in one pot, can be refrigerated for 5 days, can be frozen, and can be made in 20 minutes. Or, you know, this one here is egg-free, nut-free, sugar-free, can be made ahead, one pot, can be stored in the fridge for 4 days, can be frozen, can be made in 10 minutes. So essentially the entire book is mostly less than 10 ingredients. There are some that are more, but in those 10 ingredients, above those 10 ingredients, or even in the 10 ingredients, most of them are just pantry items, okay? So that's just your oils, your salt, your seasonings and stuff like that. So a sweetener for sweets. But yeah, we just try and keep that really easy. And the bullet points are numbered, which was something that everybody suggested. From my early days, I'm like, who needs numbers? But I understand that you might be busy and have to come back and, you know, I'm back at step 3 or whatever. So yeah, this recipe itself only has 3 steps. So it's basically like preheat, mix, put it into your muffin pan and cook. And that's it. And then cool it on a wire rack. So hopefully that comes out fine when I go to take them out of the pan, which we saw I did not grease, I did not line. So if they don't come out, you learn what not to do. And if they do come out, use with, what do you call it? Just be careful, okay? Because with caution, use with caution. Because my pans, I just wipe them out whenever I use them. So they're relatively new and they're all non-stick. They've never been sprayed or even greased. And I just always hope that things come out. I can honestly tell you when I did that photo shoot for the book, I'm like, please come out beautifully. Because I had tested the recipe in several different pans and liners and stuff. And for certain pictures, you want things to look a certain way. And I didn't want them to be in a paper liner, which normally, if you've got paper liners, lying it down on its side, which is, I knew what I wanted to do, wouldn't look so pretty. They always look better if they're sitting upright. So I did actually have somebody say to me, or a comment, that their food doesn't always look the same as mine or as pretty as mine, but they always know it'll taste good. I will do more lives of showing you actually how to make things prettier. And I have even like, probably a really good example is like how I'm trying to give you more ideas on how to make things. Here's a good recipe for it. I'll just read the notes to you. So the sesame ginger slaw is a julienne vegetable. So in here I've actually written things like, here's the notes. So the broccoli stem can be replaced with fennel for a lovely anise flavour, or kohlrabi, which you'll find, I know kohlrabi tends to be in Coles a lot, like Coles supermarkets, but I don't see it in Woolies as much. It's a great vegetable, great for vegetarian or vegan recipes and that as well too. It's quite a neutral flavour. We used to grow it many years ago. Okay, I can see they're not ready, so I'm going to just pop them on for another 5 minutes. So this is 15 to 20 minutes, so it really depends on how much you fill up your muffin pan. So yeah, we've got that. So then you can swap any vegetables that you love in it. So it's like, you know, if I've chosen low carb and somebody wants to stick in higher carb vegetables, or it's just what's in your crisper, you can use that. To julienne the vegetables means to cut them into thin strips like matchsticks. So I'm like trying to give you these tips and nuggets of information just in case you don't understand the terminology that we use. Cut the vegetable into thin strips widthways, then stack flat onto a cutting board and slice into thin strips. And then it's got things about swapping roasted pepitas in place of nuts for a nut-free option. This salad can be served hot. Heat 1 tablespoon of oil in a large wok, and then it goes on into actually how to cook it and even add protein in that cooking as well for that vegetable, so, for that salad. So I'm trying to give you as much as I can without overcrowding the page and that as well too. So I hope that, you know, I hope that it does help some of you, because I know like even in our testing group, we have people of all different levels of cooking. And the one thing that I'm not sure if everybody knows is that the testers, when they get one of my recipes, they get no image to go by. So where I know a lot of you say you just want to see those pictures in my book up close to see what the food looks like, so that when you're slicing, say, a chicken or a chicken breast, not our chicken, slicing a chicken breast, you want it to look like it is in the picture. Or if you're going to julienne the vegetables, you're looking at the picture, right? Well, when the testers get their recipes, they actually don't get the picture. And they have to follow the instructions or the notes, if I give them the notes at the time, because they're not always there either. And they have to read it and follow it and then show me what they've made in their pictures. So then I can see if the recipe is written in a way that can help people out, and they will get the same result as what I intend it to be. It is interesting, but the good thing is I have found more so over the last 4 books, I would say. So from Keto Loco onwards, we've done Keto Loco, Everyday Keto, Slow Cook Keto, and Keto Mojo, and now Simply Delicious. In those, from 2020 to now, I've really concentrated a lot on writing recipes in a format that everyone will understand, even if you can't see the picture. As we know, we've got people that actually are sight impaired, and they are using readers or e-readers to read the recipe and that as well too. So they might necessarily be able to see the picture properly or at all and want to cook the food the way it's supposed to be. So we do spend a lot of time on this sort of thing. And, it's a lot of work. Like I said, this book was a lot of work. The testers have tested over 200 recipes in the last 6 months. So yeah, it's been a little bit of work behind this one. Just seeing if there's any other questions. If you've got any questions regarding this recipe that we're doing, any recipes in the book or the book, you can ask right now. Do you have a book on just sweets, including your custard and muffin recipes? No. The recipes I'm doing now in these kind of books, I'm trying to keep exclusively to them, in saying that we do have an ebook called Amour, which is all desserts. And I might choose to do another one day, but at this stage, I'm more along the lines of the savoury. We do put recipes on the website and that as well too, and there is always a component of sweets in our cookbooks. The custards that are in this, or the custard that is in this one, let me have a quick look. It's similar but not the same as the one that's on the website. The one that's on the website you can use for sure. And the muffins, like I say, you'd have to have this book for this one, and it'll be exclusively in this book. But yeah, there is a more, which is an e-book only. That is all desserts. Hey Megan, bought the book yesterday, Arvo, so far. Love everything in it. Can't wait to try a few things tomorrow. Awesome. Love the notes, really helpful. Yeah, it is, to me, it's one of the sections that I will never chop out of the book. We've had ones where, like, this one's got a little blurb underneath the heading. It's just got some of the quotes from some of the testers, or just something that I might express about a recipe, so it makes you want to make it. There's some, I think, that are sleepers that people just don't realise are going to be that good. Like I say, panzanella salad, you've got to try it in the book. It's really, really good. Even like Dave was like, oh, that's good. And it's like, it's just salad. It's nothing trickery. Okay, I'm just going to turn that around. We'll use this and see that I don't burn my hands. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes. The ones with the chocolate are done, but the ones with the fruit, they were big pieces of berries if you saw, so they're a little bit more moist. They'll still be fine, but I'll take them out after the extra 2 minutes. So, and again, that's the same sort of thing with any of your ovens. It can just vary. It could be just like the liquid in the fruit or what you've actually mixed in that might make them cook a little bit quicker. Some of them you might even want to pop out earlier. Like if I was at home or if I was photographing them, I'd be pulling the chocolate ones out now, but I really can't be bothered. I want it to come out and sit in the pan a little bit before I take it out because I didn't put the muffin liners in there. Now, what was I saying? Was there a question that I was still going on? No, I love the notes. So the notes, yes. So that is one section that we'll keep in there. But yeah, the panzanella salad is a good one. Love the slaw too. I have subbed celery each time. I love your t-shirt. Are they for sale? No, no, they're not. I got a few printed. I got 3 for me and 3 for Dave, all in different colours. So I got a charcoal, I got a black, and I got a really nice sage green one. They were just really expensive, like to try and get made and then sell. So like, you know, I think that I said to Dave today they were between $30 and $33 a shirt, which a printed shirt's not that expensive these days, but you know, it's not that expensive for a printed shirt, I meant to say, but to try and then sell them, there wouldn't be any sort of margin in that. So we didn't go down that route this time around, but I would like to do some, like I said, shopping bags I'd really like to do. But t-shirts, I just don't know. It's really hard. You have to get them all different sizes and have a lot of stock. And as I've said, and one of the main things about this cookbook is if you haven't already got it and you're umming and ahhing, I keep saying it, this is going to be a small batch. We normally print our books and we print thousands of extras. That will not be happening. So when they come, there will be a very limited and not 1,000 extras. And once they're gone, they're gone. So if you want one, you've got to get in there and order them. So I can see these are they're gonna pop out okay. It'll probably be a mission for me because I didn't get out a wire rack. But we'll let them sit just for a minute. I'll have a look and see if there was anything else I was going to show you. So yeah, limited books. You want to get in this Wednesday, which is the 28th of September. I will be cutting off and looking at how many we have sold in the past week, and then our book will go through. Our book is going on the Wednesday to our printers to get checked that everything flies well enough for printing, because after we start the pre-sales, the book has already been prepared and it is all done ready for ebook delivery. Then what happens is the designer actually has to color convert every image that's in a book. One thing you might never notice is when you look at cookbooks, you'll see like greens and reds and that don't actually look the same. A lot of the pictures look really dark. This is in general cookbooks because we convert from one kind of colorway to another way, from sRGB to CMYK. So reds turn to browns, I think, and green turn to like a dark grey, and then it's really hard to get those colors back. Our designer, Retta, does an amazing job. Like, honestly, I would put Keto Mojo right up there as a way of like the colors and the vibrance of our food photos versus most cookbooks that I've looked at. And I'm not saying I'm a better photographer than some. I'm just saying that the colors have come out better. So yeah, the pictures still just pop on a cookbook. So that all has to happen. And when we send it through to the printers, they just go through and make sure that nothing's going to get cut off and everything is going to look nice and clear for everybody to be able to read our cookbook properly. And then it goes into the print production. So by then I need to know our final numbers, and that's what we'll be printing. So, and like I said, still a few extras, but not thousands like we normally do. So yeah, yay. I want this book to sell out. It's going, like, I think, you know, small batch has become really popular these days. You know, we've got small batch gins or bourbons or whiskies. I'm thinking of alcohol, which is funny because I'm looking at it, but I don't drink it. But that's what I want to do with the cookbooks and that as well too. There will still be the ebook, so anyone that wants to buy the ebook, that will still be there afterwards and that as well too. But there will just be a limited run on the print books. I'd love to see some weekly meal plans from each book put together in each book. Tracy, yeah, I understand what you're saying there. It is really difficult to do that and convert it in a way that'll actually look good. So, you know, you could put in a meal plan suggestion, but then that doesn't suit everybody as well. And then you know, you get, because I do get a lot of feedback on the cookbooks and stuff like that too, and it's like, even with our meal plans, it's like, well, that's for 4 people. I'm only 1. I'm only 2. I'm only 3. You know, so it's like, do you do a meal plan for 1, 2, 3, 4? You know, are they somebody who eats breakfast, lunch, dinner? Are they only eat 1 meal a day? You know, so it's really, really difficult to fit any kind of mold, particularly in a keto low carb lifestyle. So that is why I have really like stepped away from that kind of thing. In the future, I will be looking at things like batch cooking and meal planning, but it will be in a way that the recipes will be, you know, you could make it for 1, you can make it for 4, and then you can adjust it to your own way. But in a cookbook, generally speaking, like these ones that I've done in the past, very, very difficult to do. So let's just say we do the pork stir fry. I think that one's for 4, but let's just say it was for only 2 in the cookbook. Well, then you'd have to say, well, if the meal plan's for 4, you'd have to double that. And then if it's for somebody that's single, then they have to work out how to halve everything or to quarter everything to match their meal plan. So that's why it's not there. And also in saying that too, I will, and I did say it in the little video that I did of, if you've seen a little video that I did a talk over with some music and all some pictures, a stream. This is possibly the last style cookbook that I'm going to do like I have in the past. Not in the way I've set it up or anything like that, but I'm probably more likely to go into some sort of smaller niche, as in, like I said, we might do batch cooking. We might do all of one cuisine or a world of flavour, you know, so international cuisine, just different things completely than a general book. I want to just do some different things and see how it goes. We've been talking about our vegan book for a long time. I probably will go into a vegan ebook at this stage, but I might still just do a plant-based one with meat options, you know, in the future. But, you know, at this stage, I'm only ever looking at doing 1 book a year. This one's just going out, so I've got a lot of time to think about what I'm doing. But yeah, that's the main reason why there's just no meal plans, because I constantly get that feedback like, well, that meal plan's got, you know, recipes for 4. I don't eat the same meal the next day, you know. I don't eat nuts, so it's really, really hard. And people are like, why is there 3 meals if I only eat 1 meal a day, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, it can be hard. We've done t-shirts for our business. It's very time consuming. Yeah. Oh, Robin, this one was actually quite easy. I already had the logo of the book, so I just put mine on and created it. I got the image from my design and then I put it into Canva, added the extra one, and then just popped it on to a local, actually it was an Australian company that I did the t-shirts with. You can do it with Canva and that as well too. I think we've got all the questions. So then we're just going to see if we can get these muffins out in one piece without... I don't want to use a knife. I don't want to use a knife. Okay. I'm just going to have to go into the cupboard of doom and get one of my wire trays, I think. I didn't want to do that because of the noise. Everyone got their fingers crossed? Oh. I got a few that are still stuck in there. I'll just shush them out later because I want to tap them out and I don't want to do it while they're here. So we've got our cute little muffins. So this one is a chocolate one. And you can kind of see they're really nice and moist. And that chocolate is right in the centre. There's one of our berry ones. So this one was one of the berry and chocolate. So you can see like how the berries have sunk down a little bit. So you've got that fruit all the way through. But yeah, I like it that it's a good idea that you can actually measure and make sure, because if you mix it all into a cake mix, say for instance, this muffin here might get 2 serves of strawberries, and this one here might only get like 1/2 a piece of a little bit, kind of thing. So doing it that way is a nice, easy way to control what goes into the muffin, and you can make all your own flavours. So I hope that helped a little bit, and I'll see lots of French custard muffins on our Facebook group. Remembering too, we've got our Who Cooked It First competition, or thread. It's not really a competition, but we do have giveaways, and you have a chance to win a spot on the test team. So if you are in our Facebook group, I think this live has it somewhere that you can join the group, and you just post your picture onto our general feed of anything that you've made from the book, and if you're first, you just check what's on the list of that hasn't got any names attached to it yet. And if you're first, you go onto there, and then once we've done all of that, we're going to draw someone lucky out for a spot on the testers team and get the test apron. And we have some of our premix, because, oh yes, our premix, we have 10 premix products now. So we'll have some premix random, no picking or anything like that kind of ones. They'll just randomly go out in people's orders of their cookbooks. But we have our 2 new ones that have just came out last week as well. So we had a double launch last week of the book and our new premixes with Keto Eats Australia. So we've got the Keto Golden Blondies mix and the Keto Chocolate Brownies mix. If you caught, I did a little video on my Instagram making a slice or a brownie with both of them, and I did a peanut butter caramel layer in between. It turned out pretty awesome, I must say. So yeah, but we have those to go in the packets. We have chests of your signed copies and stuff like that as well, and 5 test team aprons in all the pre-sale orders as well. So the pre-sales will continue until the book arrives. I expect the book to arrive late October. Okay, so, but like I said, our orders for the book numbers will be finalised and made Wednesday, Thursday this week, but the cutoff is Wednesday for all the orders that I'll be counting. Okay, I think I'm done. Unless anyone's got any other questions regarding anything, whether it's a recipe that I've just put out, recipes coming up, things, suggestions that they might want to have, anything to do with these muffins. Like I said, those ones will come out, but I just have to push them out. Cute little muffins. And the more you, like I said, the more you fill those, the more you get like the dome top if you want. Okay, so Dave's put in the link for the Facebook group. So if you're not in our Facebook group, you can go and join that group, and remember just to post your pictures and just put the hashtag Simply Delicious on it, and we'll be able to find it. Where did you get your muffin pan, please? Okay, so Robin, this is the USA pans. So that's the name of the brand, USA pans. You can even see I've got the baking trays. I've got quite a lot of them. I got mine from Everton, which is an Australian store, but there is loads of different ones. So if you just Google USA pans, they will come up and you'll be able to compare prices between everyone. I think there's some sales on around now too, so just check out whether there's ones like at Everton. They sometimes have some really good sales, which they did when I bought all of mine. Every time they used to have a sale, I used to share it. But I've taken myself off a lot of mailing lists and that to stop myself from buying lots of things. Is this recorded or I missed the first 20 minutes? Yes, it's recorded, and you'll be able to watch it back when I'm finished. I don't think there's any more questions that I can see. So hang on, have the book. Looking forward to cooking up some Simply Delicious. Alrighty, I'm going to love yous and leave yous so I can clean up again. And relax. I will pop on from time to time throughout the week. Hopefully I'll get my events back that I can schedule events, and you'll be able to see when some of them are coming up. And I'll cook some different things. I've got some new recipes coming up on the website very soon, and we'll be back into the land of the living, of being able to think about food again soon. Just trying to catch up on all the things to do with my family and the housework first. Okay, thanks for tuning in. I hope you love the muffins. If you make them today or tonight or tomorrow, post the pictures on our group, and I'll be looking out for what flavours that you made that are slightly different than the book. Okay, catches. Bye. All right, let's turn this off. See yous.